What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Crypto Crow. I am live and I'm using a different platform. I want to see how this works because I should be streaming to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of stuff. So, and this is going to enable me to ultimately highlight comments and do different things. I'd asked Charles Hoskinson what he used for his streaming, and he pointed me to this software. It's not Streamlabs. So I'm curious to see how it works. So I'm going to wait and see who pops in, if anyone, using this new system, make sure it works okay. And I'm not even 100% sure I'm getting audio. So there may be some bugs. I'm seeing my audio levels on my end doing pretty fine. But let's see here. Okay, I see 14. Jessica Rabbit, hello. Looks like that's you're on YouTube. Jeff Wilhelms on YouTube as well. What's up? Welcome. I see somebody with a bunch of Chinese characters on Facebook. Okay, so that's new. The man, the beached whale. What's going on? Crypto whale test. Yes, that works. Thank you. Stephen E. What's up? Abel Matthew. What's up? Basically, I'm just going to hang out, let this thing grow. I'm going to answer questions. I mean, it's kind of a tech test for me to see if this is, if this all works. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh, look, that does work. Look at that. I dig that. That's pretty cool. Can you guys hear me okay? Wait 5 minutes. I just need to cook the lunch. Okay, follow me on Twitter. All right, perfect. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. That note. All clear. Good. So it sounds good. Does it look okay? Am I dropping any frames on YouTube? Because that's been my kind of question, is whether or not my Streamlabs software and the way it's set up is causing me to drop frames on YouTube or not. So if this happens to work well, I might go with this. We'll have to wait and see how this works out. Oh wow, I haven't caught a live in forever. Yeah, what's up, Joey D? I sure see you though. I see you a lot. Maybe it's been a while. Jeff Wilhelms, are you still sidelined or jumping back in? Zill crushed it for me and took profits last night. I'm still pretty sidelined. I did buy back in a little bit, just a little. I kind of put together a little play budget ultimately. My stream is dropping. I thought it was my car. Okay, some drop frames, but it's not too bad. Okay, and that's all YouTube. So I guess for anyone on Twitter or Facebook, just let me know if you can. Like if I'm dropping video frames, if it's slowing down. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sidelined still. I mean, listen, I know that everybody gets really mad at me when I basically share my thoughts about what's happening in the market. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Crow sold, so he's fudding," and it's like I think people really think that I am somehow controlling markets, and I'm not. I've got 62 people live right now, right? I'm not controlling any markets with the views that I'm getting. I just I don't know how to explain this. I'm going to turn this fan on a little bit though, so I can hang out for a while. Jeff Wilhelms with a super chat. Is that in YouTube? I'm not sure what that is. Is that a super chat? $100, dude? That's kind of crazy. I mean, thanks if that's what that is. I'm not sure what that is. But I don't. How do I explain it? I try to give it to everybody straight. I try to explain exactly what's going on. I try to explain, what I think is happening in the market, what I think is coming in the markets, and I try to prepare everybody as best I can, but I am not the end all be all either, right? And I don't, I've been in the market since 2017. I understand a lot about what's happening, what has happened, And I know that this market's like, yeah, that is a super chat for $100. Jesus, Jeff, thanks, man. That's crazy. I haven't seen a super chat in so long. I didn't even know it still worked, if I'm honest. You made me a small fortune with my ADA, my past Puerto Rican friend. Well, thank you. Wait, Jeff, you look so different in that picture. Are you the one who bought your wife a Ferrari? I think you did pretty well with Cardano, brother. If you're the same Jeff I'm thinking of, because I saw the pictures, man, and I'm like, that's exactly what I want, but I can't fit in those, so it'll never happen for me, unfortunately. But hopefully your wife loves it. So yeah, I know a lot of people have done really, really well with Cardano, but yeah, I'm still sidelined because I still expect the market to come down further, and I could be wrong. So I've got a little bit in play. I bought back into Cardano a bit. Nothing super substantial, but I barely do fit in the Rari. That's funny. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I mean, I expect the market to go down further, but I'm probably going to let what I've bought back in, I'm just going to let it ride regardless. I do see things going down further. I think we are still in a now, keep in mind, I have to say, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Don't take anything I say as financial advice. I don't have my disclaimer up in this setup yet. So, I'm just a dude on the internet. I've been following the crypto market since 2017. I'm pretty familiar with what's going on. But anything I say could be wrong or inaccurate. And I'm definitely not fudding, okay? I don't FUD the market. I just speak my mind based off of what I think is coming, what I think is happening, because I'm studying and watching this stuff pretty much all day, every day, for the most part. For me, you've always said crow your coins, but to me, you selling tells me you're not very confident in the future. Been watching you forever. Love you, Crow. Sean, that's a good point, but here, let me clarify that, okay? So crow your coins, if you look it up on the Urban Dictionary, which is, I've added it. I added it to the Urban Dictionary. Crow your coins is basically, hold your coins for at least a year if possible to lower your capital gains tax. That's what crow your coins really officially means. It means holding, but it doesn't mean holding through all the good and all the bad. Okay. When I say crow your coins, it's basically like, hey, you buy in at a low, you hold through the bear markets, you accumulate through the bear markets. You're building your empire of assets so that you can exit at a more profitable position in the future. It's not holding for life. If I'm investing my money and I am I'm trading in and out constantly, then that's super risky. For one, I invest and buy in on fundamentals. I don't just buy in on whims. I don't experiment too much with a lot of crazy projects. I just don't do a lot of that stuff anymore because I've seen the ebbs and flows, and I've seen how a lot of these projects can be really stifled over time, especially in a bear market cycle, when the retail market's not paying attention, when there's not a lot happening in the market, and people just kind of leave, right? The retail market generally pulls out. There's no more FOMO. There's no more super excitement on these super cycles and so forth and so on. And so a lot of projects, they don't stop. They kind of slow down on their news releases and press releases and things like that. So, it's me selling is just exact. I mean, think about it. I started selling my Cardano at $2. I mean, when it peaked out at over $3, I was literally getting on a plane going to Puerto Rico to live for 6 months. And that didn't even work out. I left all those tax benefits behind. I'm still remodeling a house there to sell. And, the Puerto Rico, the people, the people were so great, man. We made a lot of cool kick-ass friends there. But it's very, it's rough, man. It's rough. And it's like, we can say what we want about paying taxes, but the reality is I've learned, unless you're like a billionaire, and even then, I'd rather just pay my taxes and enjoy, the infrastructure. And, I mean, there's there's some truth in the fact that, you know, in the United States, yeah, taxes are absolutely outrageous. And as long as I don't live in California, where I feel like they're going to start taxing the air soon, you know, I would rather just pay my taxes than live happy. And I know, like, you know, the crypto nomad and some of those guys, you know, they're like, go where you're treated best. And, you know, I don't agree. I mean, taxation to me is pretty terrible. I mean, the way a lot of it goes down is pretty bad. Okay. And it doesn't even make sense why the public is taxed when the government just prints trillions of dollars for like, and just blows it. And a lot of the financial system doesn't make sense to me. But I know that I'm still happier here than in some place else where there are very few traffic laws. There, I mean, it doesn't. I'd rather pay my taxes and feel safe. Okay, I mean that's what that is for me. But anyway, the point is, you know, yeah, I do, and I'm still crowing coins. You know, I mean, I've never touched my my staking node pledge. I've got 100,000 ADA in my staking node. I'm not touching that. That's gonna ride out. You know, so yeah, but it is what it is. Let's see. Flathead, good to see you back, Crow. I ordered a ledger off Amazon a while back, but it started eating at me that it might not be real. Am I overthinking it? Very good question. Flathead, that's a really good question. If you bought it directly from the manufacturer, you're probably fine. If you bought it from a third party, get rid of it. I just launched my book. Here, I'm going to put it, cryptodecoded.io. Let's see if that goes through. So it's cryptodecoded.io, and it's basically my crypto guide. I just finished the day before yesterday. I've spent weeks and weeks on it. I literally did the entire thing myself. And it's going to be a living book. It's a living guidebook to crypto. And in that, I basically say, one of my little bubble notes is, do not buy hardware wallets from a third party. If you go direct to Ledger or you go to the manufacturers themselves, then you should be fine. But when third parties will buy these things in bulk, hack them, and then repackage them for resale on Amazon. And then when they're used, they can access those wallets and drain them. So, and that's old school. I mean, that was happening back in like 2017, 2018. And I don't know how that's been eradicated or limited, if at all, but I would never buy hardware wallets from a third party. What up, Joe Berlin? Let's see. I have sold my ADA bag take, and it feels like losing, but I think the market is very dangerous. Yeah, again, I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just speaking my opinion, okay? I'm just some salt and pepper dude on the YouTubes, okay? But, you know, when you're investing in anything, really, what is the point? What is the point of investing in anything? It's to improve your financial situation. So if you believe that your financial situation will be better suited by exiting a position that has done very well, then it's a matter of how greedy do you need to be? And that was a question that I had to ask myself. Is the risk of losing potentially 5-10% a day in the crypto market, had we peaked, if we had peaked, is me holding on to that dream or that greed of, but it could double again from here? That was a nerve-wracking, shaky question for me. And when I first started asking myself that, because I called the peak on Twitter, I mean, pretty much to the day. And it was as I was getting on a plane. I would have been much better off. I would have done so much better had I just stayed my ass where I was. So much better. Like, to me, moving to Puerto Rico was like a huge mistake. It really was. It was good for the experience, and it was good to see another part of the world and to understand and to put things into perspective. Like, okay, yeah, you might save some money in taxes, but you're at the risk of what I consider to be very corrupt systems and all of that. And like, we talk about political corruption and whatnot here, but at least you can use your bank account right now without being worried about something happening, or whatever. Like the grass is not always greener is my point. We get very complacent and very used to things being much easier here in the States. And I think that that's a big part of why we're having so many of the big problems and things we have going on in the world right now is because people are bored. People are bored, they're entitled, they're lazy, and they're just creating new issues, new things to fight for because everything's so damn easy right now. But I think that's going to change soon. I think everybody's going to get exactly what they need. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with exiting a profitable position if it improves your well-being. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So I wouldn't feel bad about it. Love the hacker poster on the wall. That movie was so cool back in the day. Yeah, it's funny because I still remember the day that movie came out and I was so excited about it. I went and saw it at the theater and I've watched that movie probably 20 times since. And even the soundtrack, I bought the soundtrack. I love the whole thing. I love the movie. Don't marry your bags. I'm guilty of it though. Yeah, you don't marry your bags. It is what it is. But that's also why I buy and I invest primarily in things I believe in long term, so that if I end up with a bag that for whatever reason I don't get out of at the right time, I'm okay to hold it until the following cycle. Cardano being my primary. I mean, I don't even really buy anything but Cardano anymore. I really don't. If I'm going to get into the market, because here's the thing. When I think about Cardano, I think of everything it's accomplished already. And I know that, Ethereum still pretty much outpaces Cardano right now. But I really do believe that when Hydra launches and all of these other protocols launch on Cardano, it's going to take the world by storm in a lot of ways. And that's basically what I'm waiting on. I mean, it's a patience game at this point. But if I have the ability to exit at a top while being able to reaccumulate more later, much, much less, when I'm absolutely 100% or at least 90% certain of that trajectory, and then that's when I typically make a play. But it's basically what I did when it peaked at 314 and then dropped. It was at like 230 or something. And I took a little bit of my Cardano, my ADA, and I set a stop limit order at like $2. And I'm like, if it hits, it hits. If it hits, then we're going to go further down than $2. And sure enough, it hit. Not only did it hit once, but it hit, bounced up a little bit and hit again until it broke through. And I was like, okay, well, that's sold. And that's when I started, really plotting out my exit strategy from there. And then I ended up finalizing and just getting out of the entire position, everything except for my ADA pledge on my node, Crow node. And I sold all that at $1.46. And I've been happy with that decision. It's helped me breathe at night. It's helped me live. It's helped me not basically, nail biting, every moment as the price has continued to fall since then. And a lot of people are like, oh, Crow, you're flooding the market because you sold. No, you're new. You're new. That's all I can really say. Let's see. Okay, got a spammer promoting some game. YouTube isn't showing your live. YouTube isn't showing your live on our subscribed feed. I've seen this live by coincidence. Yeah, I think it's because I'm not going live every day. YouTube's algorithm, they're not promoting my live. I mean, I used to have 2,000 plus people in a live stream. And I've noticed that when I slow down, it's not. Why do you look familiar? OJ Matthew. You look familiar. Good looking fella. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I'm not going live every day like I used to. And YouTube just doesn't promote my lives out to all of my subscribers anymore. I mean, it's like the way that they work is, I don't know, sucks. I found a better strategy than PR, living back in Arizona now. That's cool. And I'm sure it probably has something to do with like the whole life insurance and all that. I'm guessing, because I know that's the big craze. The thing of it is let's say you take out $1 million whole life insurance policy that you're able to borrow against. you still need to be generating revenue with what you've borrowed to pay that loan back to yourself. So it's like, if you're taking, but you're still taking out a loan. So yeah, it's a loan against yourself, but you still have to pay it back. So if you use that capital for something, unless it's providing you a strong yield or a return on investment that is capable of paying that. Like if I were to do that to maybe buy investment property, or something to that effect, okay, that might make sense because it's generating a return. And I've been thinking about doing something like that. I have been very much trying to figure out what role I want to play from here. Like I'm not leaving crypto. I'm probably never leaving crypto. I've thought about it. My wife and I've talked about it. I'm like, it's what I know. It's what I love. It's what I do. And I've invested a lot of time and a lot of effort into building, just doing what I've done so far. So, but I'm trying to find like, what are some of the recession-proof businesses? And, I'm really interested in opening like a LabCorp type facility, like a testing facility somewhere. And, I'd love to open a Twin Peaks restaurant, but man, you need a lot of capital to open one of those spots. I don't know. I'm looking for alternatives. I'm looking for things that I can do. I'd love to have a brick and mortar. I've thought about doing investment real estate, but honestly, prices for real estate everywhere are astronomical, and I don't see that lasting forever. And so I don't want to buy. I don't want to do in real estate what I see a lot of people do in crypto, where you buy high and then I just don't want to do all that. Let's see. What else do we have going on here in chat? Not seeing any Twitter comments. Oh, can't post. I think some of the Twitter comments I'm not seeing. I'm seeing a Facebook. Let's see who's on Facebook. What is this? David Yates Ford. What do you use for multi-factor authentication logins? Getting worried about Google Authenticator. Interesting. What are you worried about with Google Authenticator? There are several others. Authy is one. I think it's AUTHY. If anything, I'm more weary of other authenticators, but I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Like what worries you about Google Authenticator? Crow, can you update us on your newsletter, please? Thinking of joining. I'm trying to transition out of a newsletter. I want to grow a living guidebook. That's what cryptodecoded.io is about. It's basically a magazine format book that I want to grow. Like right now it's at like 52 pages, and it's a magazine ultimately that I want to grow and continue growing until it's 200 pages, chock full of all kinds of cool, crazy stuff based on user feedback. So when people read this initial entry level of the guidebook, I started a Telegram group, and I want people to either join the Telegram or join the Facebook group and let me know, hey, I'm really interested in this. Can you expand on XYZ? And then I'm going to start blocking that out and then updating the book almost like a newsletter, but in magazine format. And I think nobody's ever done that, to my knowledge. I think it's far better than a newsletter because a lot of people ignore newsletters a lot after a while. But I think if you're able to just download a new copy of a magazine book that's always being added to, updated, and changed, it's like a living book. I just think that'll be more beneficial to everyone. Because at the same time, with a newsletter, how often do people go all the way back to the very first post and read it all through, in sequence? A lot of people don't do that. They join a newsletter if they even have access to the old stuff, right? So at least this way, everybody that buys the book, they will have access and they can read it all in sequence, in order from start to finish, and enjoy all of the updates and additions to it. So that's what I'm doing. It's cryptodecoded.io. Hosky Dex, miss you too. Thanks for stopping by. Tyson Larson, what's up? Been watching you a long time, Crow. Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you too. I appreciate all you guys that are in here in chat. Have you dabbled with any of the DeFi yield farming platforms on Cardano yet? No. I haven't. You know, I know that everybody loves DeFi yield. Like a buddy of mine who he's still in Puerto Rico. He's helping with the remodel of my house, actually. He's always messaging me stuff. You know, I know that DeFi, excuse me, I know that DeFi and you know, these high yield platforms all sound great. Is the token you're earning, you know, earn 1,200% APY. Okay, cool. Now I've got 20 million of these things. What's the liquidity? Is it 50,000 a day in liquidity, 25,000 in sells, 25,000 in purchases? Is it going to take me 6 months on limit orders to get out of my position? Otherwise, I crash the market down to like, you know, 98%. It's just a lot of these just simply aren't worth it to me. And a lot of them, to me, okay, now this will change in the future. And I think that regulation on the blockchain space is going to nip a lot of this stuff in the butt. Okay. Right now, I know it all looks so great. And I know everybody's like, oh, Crow is so negative. It's not that I'm negative. I've just seen so much shit over the last several years. And to me, a lot of this DeFi, APY yield farming crap is just, it's to inspire your greed so that you're fueling the greedier, which is often the developers of a lot of these applications. Now, I'm not saying that they're all bad, and I'm not saying that all the tokens are bad or any of that. I'm just saying that until the percentage of bad actors and bad operators in the DeFi and APY yield farming space drops significantly, to me, it's not worth the risk. Because if you get caught up in one of these projects, man, and you're just, I don't know. I'm seeing too many rug pulls, too many scams, too much of that stuff happening, and I'm not with it. I'm not with it. So it's not to say that, I mean, and here's the thing. A lot of people think just because a project is on Cardano, I'm going to love it. No, I love the Cardano blockchain, which is it's what provides all of the systems and power for other applications. It doesn't mean all the other applications are great. So yeah. Do you think we are heading back down again or going up from here? Bitcoin is dropping right now. Like I said earlier, I think we're going to continue moving down. I thought we had a nice little pump and it pulled some more people in, but I think it's ultimately a trap. Hey, Crow, followed you for a couple years now. Got into ADA and am now out. Wish I'd sold at $3, but did pretty well. All thanks to you. Wonder if you've heard of Pulse Chain. G-Man Crypto. I have heard the name Pulse Chain, but I have not done much with it. I don't know anything about it. I haven't researched it. I'm actually planning on doing some research into Hedera Hashgraph because I want to kind of catch up to what they've been accomplishing. Because I was really bullish on it years ago, and then I kind of lost interest because it just wasn't doing very much. But I think it's been doing a lot of stuff under the radar. I'm suspecting it has, and I want to find out what that is, and I'll probably do a big video on it at some point. Office setup, nice. Actually, what's behind me is a photo of my old office. It's not where I'm at now. This is the old office in the old house. It's just that, you know, I've just been experimenting with the setup, trying to figure out if this is a fun way. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. You know, do you like this kind of thing where I'm just sitting here chatting? I'm not showing charts or graphs. I'm not reading news. I'm just hanging out, talking, answering questions. Sometimes I label a video AMA, but I don't do a lot of AMA. It's like me, just more commentary. But I do like this. I like this StreamYard system. Have you done any yield farming on any Cardano DeFi platforms or any other crypto platforms? If so, yeah, Slayer fan, what's up? I know you've been around for a long time, man. I appreciate you. Again, I don't play with DeFi very much at all. I just don't. I haven't for some time. Jason Rohde, what's up? Crow, can you do some how-to videos on the Cardano ecosystem using drip drops and different liquidity pools and such for passive income with our ADA bags? I've thought about this. I have thought about this, and I know that a lot of you people want it. I know that everybody wants stuff like this. They want these DeFi guides. until I have dove in deep and really get it and understand it, I won't do content about it. Just because, ever since I started this channel, the whole goal of this channel, it's never been to like make $1 million or to be famous or any of that shit. It was just, hey, I'm new to the crypto space. I'm going to share what I learn along the way. And we've all grown together. And that's ultimately where it's at. Now, in the future, maybe now drip drops. I've actually dabbled with that a little bit out of curiosity, but I haven't dove in. Just a lot of the stuff makes me nervous, man. It really does. A lot of the DeFi stuff, it makes me nervous. When you start getting into airdrops and a lot of that stuff, I'm very untrusting in the crypto space. I mean, those of you that have been following me for years understand why. I'm just very careful. Are you holding any CNFTs? If so, which ones? I think I have some. The werewolves. I know the werewolves. I know I have a few of those. They sent me. Obviously, I don't really do a whole lot on CNFT because I own Zempify.com. So, Zempify is my Cardano based marketplace. And then we have ADA Tokenizer, which allows you to mint tokens and get royalties on the Cardano blockchain for Cardano based NFTs that you sell on Zempify. And then we have ZetaSeek, which is an NFT search engine. And we're putting them all under one roof right now. And so I don't really do a whole lot with CNFT. I don't deal a lot with NFTs. I have my Twisted Times NFT collection that I don't even think anybody solved the first freaking puzzle. Like, I launched the first half of the Twisted Times.io series. To my knowledge, nobody's even solved the first puzzle yet, which I'm like blown away by. So I haven't started focusing on, preparing the final 12 because I wanted to gauge like what's happening, but I'm not even sure anybody's trying. So I don't know. The whole idea of the Twisted Times was get the community working together, trying to solve all these puzzles for, big prize at the end. Once they've solved all 12 or all 24 and they pulled out all the seed phrase words to unlock the wallet and this and that. I don't know. At some point, I'm going to do a big master article, and I'm just going to like have it on Forbes and kind of talk about all of my projects and everything that I've been doing over these last few years, and hope it drives more attention and people start getting more active. But as far as CNFT, I have some of the werewolves, and somebody sent me a Charles Hoskinson NFT that actually is really cool. I actually feature it in the Crypto Decoded book. So, Hack the Planet. Yeah, even though I've been hacked, I still love hackers, man. I believe that, like when I see stuff from like Anonymous or some of these other groups, I'm like, I always feel good somehow. I really do. I always kind of feel like we have this mystery force that's pseudo protecting us in a way from bad stuff. Like, obviously there are a lot of bad hackers. A lot of the bad hackers out there are just script kiddies, man. I mean, a lot of them are just they pull some script off the dark web and they're screwing around with it on their computer somewhere in the world, and they like a lot of like the bad actors in hacking, I think are script kiddies, or they're like high level like hacking exchanges for like millions of dollars, but I love good hackers. I love white hat hackers. I love those guys. I love the guys. I've always been one, like, to have a certain amount of power and to have a certain talent or special ability and using it for good, knowing it's not as lucrative, it's not as, whatever. You have to sacrifice, but you're trying to help and you're trying to play a good role, and just kind of kicking the evils away and pushing a lot of that stuff out. I always love that kind of thing. I love underdog stories and movies. I love all of that stuff. I found that Card wallet, which advertised itself as a Cardano project, is in fact an Ethereum project. ETH fees included, so I sold the lot ages ago. There you go. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Cardonian, you're a crypto OG. I'm almost retired at 30 years of age, and I've been watching your videos since 2017. I remember your original video on how you bought 15,000 ADA. Yeah, that was December 13th of 2017. I remember, and I remember the video, and I basically accomplished everything I said I was setting out to do in that video, and then some. So I know that I love to see it. I love to see you guys that come in the chat and tell me your stories and your success stories just from watching the videos. Because honestly, if I didn't have that, I don't think I would still be in crypto. I don't really think I'd be doing any of this anymore. And it's like knowing I've seen countless videos. Kind of hit me a little bit there. I've seen so many videos and so many just long stories, man. I get long emails of people with, I mean, I had one gentleman tell me how they foster like all these kids. They were really struggling and everything was rough, and he got into Cardano like really, really low. And then he showed me a video of their new house. And it's like, if I didn't have that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be bothering with a lot of this. It would just be done. I would be done. But I'm like, if there's another 4 or 5 years where I might be able to help position some people into making some really cool moves and changing their financial well-being and ultimately, changing their lives for the better. And I'm not going to lie. I do well for my YouTube channel. I mean, with the paid segments and all of that, I do well. But even that, it's like, that's not motivating enough anymore. It's like, I need more of a purpose than just, paid segments. And it's honestly, it's comments like this that really help fuel me, because I question my existence in YouTube, cyberspace, social media pretty much every day. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, you're why I'm doing this. I'm not sure what that means, Crypto Squall, but that's true patience is golden. All I hold is ADA and Meld. The guy who created Ergo used to work with Charles. Jack Martin. Hey, man, I actually put a picture of you and I in my Crypto Decoded book. I hope you don't mind. It's one where we're kind of sitting there with our fists up. Yeah, there's a little section where I have like pictures and stuff, and I've got a picture of Jack Martin and myself in there. So, yeah, always nice to see Jack. Every time I see Jack, honestly, especially that photo right there, you actually remind me of my father a bit, because you kind of look like each other a bit, and I always think you look like a novelist or something, like a book author. Let's see, Ryan Nyams, the man that got me into Cardano. I'm forever grateful. That's awesome. A random dude. What average price did you sell? I would say that my average sale price was probably about $1.75, something like that. I mean, because I originally sold it at like $2 by accident through a stop limit order, and then I exited the rest at like $1.46. So yeah. Nice hair. Thank you very much. It's already grown out. Will we see $2 plus this year? I don't know, man. I really don't. Rob G, I'm not sure if we're going to see $2 again this year. I really don't know. I would love to think we do, but anything is possible. I'll just say I'm 50-50. Here's the thing. If I say, no, we're going down, then all the comments are going to be like, Crow's fudding, Crow's an asshole, Crow's lost it, he's a non-believer now, blah, 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 blah. It's like all these people that get super butthurt by just me being real. And, it's like, I'm not saying that. I don't want it to. Like, a lot of people think, listen, let me just tell you this right now. If Cardano were to go to $5 tomorrow, I would be more joyous than any man on earth. Okay. For a million reasons. I don't have to hold Cardano in my personal stake for me to not want to see it go crazy high. That is not what this is all about for me. I'm in a position now where I'm comfortable and I'm happy. I've accomplished a lot of goals and I'm good with whatever happens. I still have my stake, my node, my pledge, all of that. So it's like, what do you think about Richard Hart? I don't know. I mean, he's a smart guy. Kudos on that. But I don't know. I've had him on the channel. I've interviewed him. He's an interesting fella. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's an early Bitcoin adopter, so he has foresight. He's a smart guy who understands tech. And, I have to say, I like the fact that he is willing and makes it a point to appear and come on any channel that wants to question him and like Hex and what he's been doing in Hex. But I think we've all known since the very beginning. I mean, he's taking a lot of that money and he's buying back the tokens and keeping the price going up. I mean, like, he's like his own market maker. I don't know. Like, I don't even know 100% that's what he's doing. I think anybody that gets into something like Hex, ignorance is a choice, right? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Hex. I don't fully understand all of the little intricacies of the project to say anything, really. I just know that I didn't get into it. I know that there are a lot of people out there who've done really well with it. I'm sure Richard has done very well with it. And it is what it is. I don't know. I mean, is it better than Shiba Inu or Doggy Coin or Dogecoin? Maybe it is, but Richard Hart as an individual, I've talked to him once for like, I don't know, an hour and a half. I know more of him than I know him, if that makes sense. Like, I read all kinds of stuff and I see all kinds of comments and assumptions and everything, but I'm not one of those people that just establishes a whole worldview of an individual based off of some brief interactions and a couple of headlines. That's not the person. So, I made that mistake with, oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've even heard his name. Bitcoin Cash. My memory is totally slipping. But yeah, the founder of Bitcoin Cash. I was really hard on him early on. I've never met him. I didn't know him. I still haven't met him and I still haven't talked to him. But over the years, I've read a lot. I've watched a lot of documentaries about him, and I just think I was really wrong, man. Like I think I would love him. I think I would absolutely adore him in person. I think we would probably be really good friends. But I prejudged him in a way, and there are others too. I'm just learning, especially in my age, to not prejudge anyone until I've met them myself and have just felt their energy, felt who they are, and that's it. So I don't really have much thought about Richard Hart, quite frankly. I just don't know enough about him. So it is what it is. Morpheus, you are as real as they come in. I was on a plane to Puerto Rico as well on September 10th, also to see it with boots on the ground, and the infrastructure is just not there. Yeah, it's really not. It's really struggling. I was just chatting with somebody else in Puerto Rico, and we have friends there still. And I'm like, is Luma any better? No, it's not. Like how? I don't know. But the power infrastructure there is just really, really bad. And it's, it really is sad because when you go through parts of Florida, you're like, wow, this is what Puerto Rico should be. But you got to get the politician. And here's the thing too. And a part of me wonders, like, in Puerto Rico, they really don't seem to like gringos. Like, and it's like, it's sad because not all of us that go to Puerto Rico are just there to like, work on taxes or because we're just rich and entitled and we want to come there and shit on the island. It's like, there's some of that for sure. Like we've witnessed it. It's really difficult for me to contend with like the perception that the Puerto Ricans have of a lot of us folks that come in from the mainland, and because we saw it all over the place, man. I mean, like, there are a lot of gringos, a lot of like non-Puerto Ricans that come, tourists that just come there and take a shit, and it's like it would piss us off. And I can only imagine if I was a local living there my whole life, watching a lot of this stuff happen. So when I see a lot of it, I'm like, they think they're talking to me or about me, but they don't know that they're not. And I can't really blame them. So you just kind of like move on. Like but man, Puerto Rico could be on another level of oasis, man. And it's just not. I mean, especially with the mandates and everything that they've got. I mean, it's so bad. Like, we have friends, we were going to fly in at, one of them's a school teacher, and she's like, I can't leave the island. She's been vaccinated like 4 times, and she still can't leave Puerto Rico because she's a school teacher. And I don't know, something about her kids and whatever. And it's like, it's just nuts. It's nuts. And I almost feel like Puerto Rico is kind of like a big test bed for a lot of shit. And yeah, we didn't want to play into any of that either, which is one of the reasons why we just got out of there. Jay Corn, I got notified by YouTube and am watching. Well, thanks for letting me know. There's like 228 people live right now, which, that's cool. I'm definitely glad to see everybody. But 46 minutes in, I'm used to seeing like 2,000 folks, and YouTube's definitely not telling everybody. Considering I'm also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Crow still holding Theta. Also, any updates on your newsletter? Did you ask that earlier? I will post. I'm going to post to my newsletter here soon. But I do want to migrate my newsletter into the cryptodecoded.io book, and I'm going to send that out to everyone. So yeah, I'm sure I still have Theta because I haven't sold it. I don't think. I can't remember. I don't think I sold it. Testing what exactly? Oh, is that still the title of one of these? Because I'm on like 4 different platforms right now. And but yeah, I've been testing this new stream software. It's this StreamYard, so that I can basically highlight questions and things like that. So yeah, that's what I've been testing, and to see if I got it all set up properly. And I figured I would just do a fun Q&A for everyone. Crow, how are the ATMs coming along? I basically sold them. I mean, sold them without selling them. Like, I basically just gave them to someone and said, hey, run these, and if you ever make a bunch of money, just cut me in the future. Because they're all in northern Kentucky, and I can't really manage them effectively, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it's not that they couldn't be profitable or anything. It's just I have too much other stuff to deal with, and it took so long. It took so long for all of the legal and compliance and all of that stuff. It took like 6 months. Getting the company set up, getting registered, getting all the stuff like the procedures and policies and it just took so stinking long. Then it took forever for the machines to arrive. And by the time they all got there, I was already planning and getting everything ready to move to Puerto Rico. So I had a neighbor help run them for me for a little bit, and then I just basically gave them away, because I would get so many messages from people like, hey, I'd like to buy your ATMs. And then, they never say anything again. I'm like, I'm tired of dealing with these folks. And like, nobody's actually going to do any damn thing. Everybody's just trying to, I don't know. I'm like, either push the button or like, go away. I don't have time to. Look into getting YubiKey. Brother, I've got multiple YubiKeys. Actually, it's in my book. I talk about YubiKeys in my Crypto Decoded guide. How safe do you feel YubiKey is? I feel YubiKeys are great, personally. I mean, and there are a lot of different models you can get. But I mean, ultimately, all it is it's like a closed connection with like a little bit of an encrypted notification thing. I mean, that's really all it is. It's just it's like having a hardware digital key that you need to access a different account. So, I wonder why all these questions are coming up about YubiKeys all of a sudden. That's interesting. What is YubiKey? YubiKey is a little device. See, I won't show mine because I just, for whatever reason, I just don't feel comfortable showing publicly anything. You never know, like, well, a hacker's watching, like, oh, he's got this model, guys. Let's go load up that script. But there are a lot of different models. And you know, you get very simple ones, you get more complex ones, but ultimately it looks like a little chip or a little, like, there was one that looked like teardrops. Some of them look like little rectangular chips, and they plug in through USB and they have a button. And so when you set up YubiKey on, like, you know, an exchange or like on Google for your email or whatever, when you log in, it'll say, please insert your YubiKey and activate. And you just plug it in, hit the button, and then everything opens up. Like you just put a key in the door and turned it. And without those hardware keys, without that YubiKey, you're not getting into your shit. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. Did you get back into Cardano? A little bit, but not all the way, not even close. And I'm probably not going to this cycle. Okay. Hello, Adalia Velez. Did I pronounce that right? Adalia Velez. Velez? I don't know. I try my best. Hey, Crow, any thoughts on SoMe Social? Is it dead? I have no idea. I really love SoMe, and I was really getting amped up, but it just seems like, I don't know. I just felt like it was treading water for so long, and I don't know. If they were trying for so long to work with Cardano and to get some of the capital they needed to further build it out on the Cardano blockchain and this and that. And, you know, Cardano was just like, I don't know. We're going to probably pass for now. And so, and they're like, okay, well, we have other means. And then I don't know. I don't know what happened. Honestly, I haven't been to SoMe in a while, so I don't even know what changes have been made lately. Maybe I'll check it out. Good folks working on it. I mean, cool people, but everything was taking so long to move anywhere. I think my messages are being blocked. What happened? Blocked by what? I see it. Let's see. Gazer. Hey, Crow, I've been watching you since 2017. I always love your honesty and integrity. Thank you, man. I really don't know any other way to be than just kind of straight up in your face. It is what it is. Is YubiKey only for crypto? Okay, it's not only for crypto. It's for any kind of application with those security features enabled that enable you to use a YubiKey for it. But you don't store passwords on it. It's not a password storage device. It's just like it's a digital key. That's basically what it is. Instead of putting the key in and turning it, you put it in and push a button. That's basically the same thing. Crow, do you think we will hit all-time high Bitcoin this summer? I would love to hope so, but I don't see it happening. But I don't know. Will you play chess against Benjamin Cowan on stream? I'm sure Benjamin Cowan would whoop my ass in chess right now. I used to be really pretty good. I was actually on the chess club in middle school. Actually beat my science teacher. You know, but I haven't played chess in so long. What's funny is I'm 3D printing my own chess set, and I don't know if you can really see it, but this is this is the king of one of the sides, and then I have the queen. Still haven't like pulled a lot of stuff off her, but that should be the queen, and I'm basically making my own chess set from 3D printed models that I've been put, and it's going to be like a long time. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm just finding I've got one side and the other. So I would like to start playing chess again because it's been years and years and years, but I used to love chess. And my wife and I watched that Queen's Gambit show on Netflix, which was so good. And I was like, oh gosh, it really makes you want to play again. But yeah. So let's see. Are you looking at any smaller mid-cap coins that may have good potential in this upcoming run? That's assuming there's an upcoming run. We just had a little bit of a pump, but I don't know if anything's happening. Douglas Becker, met you at your meetup in Cincinnati. We asked about your favorite pizza in Canton. We're moving to Florida in May. Are you planning any meetups? Pizza Oven in Canton. That's the best. Oh my gosh, I would love to get my hands on some of that again someday. But are we planning any meetups? I am actually. I would like to do a meetup in Florida. I am going to be at Bitcoin 2022 in Miami Beach in April. So like next week I will be there. And then like April 6th, we're going to the party. There's a big party that's happening with like Diplo and all of those. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a table there. I invite everybody to come check that out. I in this format, I don't yet have like all the links and things. I don't think I'm still learning this system, but yeah, I would like to have we'll probably do a meetup at a Twin Peaks somewhere like Fort Myer or something one of these days and just invite everybody out for like wings and beer or something and just kind of shoot the shit and hang out. So at some point, yeah, I would like to do that, Douglas. That'll be fun. Let me get down to the closer to the bottom here. Wow, there's a lot. We're at 56 minutes. Let's see. Soldier USAF. All right. Hey, Crow, I want your thoughts on something. Yes, sir. 2017 bull run, there were much fewer projects. This bull run, there's 15 times more projects. Don't I know it? Will that prevent huge gains across all projects as before? Yeah, I mean, to some extent, sure, because the money going into the space is being divided amongst a lot more shit. That's one of the reasons why I think regulation is going to actually help the space quite a bit, because it's going to get rid of a lot of the crap projects out there just trying to gobble up cash that have really little to no use case. And it's all just based on speculative marketing. Because, yeah, you're right. There were like 7,000 projects in the last market. Now there's like almost 18 and 19,000. And so, yeah, it does change things. Even though there's substantially more money going into the space. I mean, I think we barely broke. I don't even think we did break $1 trillion in the last bull cycle, and now we're at 2. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crap out there, though, man, and that's not good. Into the fray, $4.99. Thank you. That's cool. Hey, Crow, have you looked into Pulse Chain? I'm gonna have to look into Pulse Chain. Either that, or like a lot of you guys you guys really love it. I will make a note to look at Pulse Chain. Because it's obvious that a lot of you guys are into it. Either that or you're all paid bots. But I don't see bots doing $5 $5 bumps. So into the fray, I'll check it out. I love how much you love all this. Booney Boyo. I mean, it's just what I do. Still holding my Telcoin. That's cool. I'm pretty sure I am too. Can I give you I'm not sure what this is. What is this emoji? I'll assume it's a hug, like, oh, hug. Yes, you can give me a hug. I can always use a good one. Bob Newell, learned about Cardano from your first video as well. First bought at 15 cents and DCA'd to 7. Now retired in Mexico. Wow. That's crazy. That's awesome. Crow's the man. They don't come as real as they come. That's funny. That's like me saying I'm always right sometimes. Doug Maloney, how goes it, Crow? Good to hear from you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Can you talk about your book? Yeah, I can. It's cryptodecoded.io. I was talking about it earlier. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I'll do a whole thing on it probably with Streamlabs when I can do my graphics and show the website and stuff. Let's see. Ninja Crypto, I remember you. Hey, Crow, I won that Bybit challenge that you ran with Crypto Face a couple years ago and got a lifetime market cipher indicator. I now trade full time and taking care of my parents. Thank you, man. Wow, that's cool as hell. I couldn't imagine the life of trading full time though. That would just be nuts for me. Because I remember one night I was trading Bitcoin against Bitcoin Cash during that whole flippy flop back and forth war they had until like 3 a.m. And it was actually, it might have been later. It might have been like 5 or 6. I didn't sleep the entire night. I was trading it back and forth, back and forth. I made like $1,500 that night. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. I just couldn't do it. It's so much more difficult to be a trader in crypto because it's 24 hours. And when you go to sleep, Asia wakes up and decides to screw you every possible way. So, you've got to be on it like 24/7. You're one of the few people I trust in this space, even though I've never met any of you. Oh, well, thank you. There are a lot of good guys in crypto. I mean, there really are. And I know BitBoy gets a lot of shit, but I love him. I love BitBoy. I mean, a lot of people don't realize guys like BitBoy were around for like years making animated, funny videos before anybody gave two shits about what they were doing. And, it's like when you put out as much content as someone like Ben, you have a whole team, man, and they're all helping. And it's like, it's not all like his, whatever. I mean, he's got help. So he's not going to be right about everything all the time, but nobody is. You trust in Elron, great partnership. Luna buying 10 billion in Bitcoin. Change is here, brother. If you're not helping people and you have the means, check your priorities. What's up, Jason H? Yeah, I love You Trust. I still do. Nuno is such a good dude, and yeah, I was supposed to have their new CEO on because Nuno put himself. He's more like on the like chairman of the board. And Sonia, I think is her name. Sonia took over because she used to run like an international division at PayPal and this and that. And she's super sharp. I was supposed to have her on an interview a long time ago. Just for whatever reason, I guess she didn't want to do it, or she got busy. I don't know what happened. But yeah. Christian Torres, I'm following you since you started on tour, Baseman. And we all had your kiddos play. I'm not sure what our kids played together. I'm not sure what. I'm following you since you started on tour. Oh, I'm following you since you started in your basement. And we all heard your kiddos play. Oh, I get what you're saying. When I would do the videos in my basement where the kids were making noise. Man, look at me deciphering that. Obviously, this is not a first language, but bravo. We filled that communication gap. I already answered that. I don't really do those anymore. I like the truth, even if it hurts. Sometimes the truth does hurt. I always try to teach my kids, like, honesty is going to take you a hell of a lot further than dishonesty. People, I feel like the weak-minded generally resort to just lying about everything because, I don't know, it's just what they think works. Roger Ver, thank you. That's exactly what I was talking about before. It was really like, yeah, Roger Ver. I really think I like him. Honestly, the more I've learned about him, the more I regret like really coming down on him because I used to think he was shady. I used to think he was a shuckster. Pushing this Bitcoin Cash business the way he was. And I'm like, man, that dude he got screwed around so bad early on. And anyway, you're a good dude, Jay. I've always loved your channel. Thank you, Into the Fray. I appreciate that. That model, is that Battletech? I can't tell what that is, but I love Battletech. Thanks for responding. Are you Richard Hart? Yeah, guys. Hey, listen, I'm going to cut out of here. I'm going to check the videos out and see how it all looks. Let me know in the comments below if you like this format. If you do, I will do it more often here on StreamYard. Yeah, just let me know. I love to like engage with you guys, answer questions. I'm getting pretty hot though, and I need to eat. So I'm going to cut it here, but thanks for joining me. I am the Crypto Crow. Until next time, guys, crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.